You're listening to the Roofing Success Podcast, a show created to inspire roofing contractors to achieve optimal success in their roofing businesses. I'm the host, Jim Moline, the co-author of the book, Internet Marketing for Roofing Contractors, How to Triple Your Sales and Turn Your Roofing Website into an Online Lead Generation Machine. I'm also the co-founder of Roofer Marketers, the digital marketing agency for the roofing industry. On each episode, I'll be sitting down with industry leaders to talk about their processes, the lessons they've learned, and how to find success in roofing. Hey, Jim Moline here with another episode of the Roofing Success Podcast. And as always, I'm very excited to speak to another successful roofing contractor. And what attracted me to reach out to this gentleman is the short time that he has had this company and the amazing success that he has achieved. As of the 2019 Inc. 5000 list, he was number 116 with 3-year growth of 2,994%, which is truly amazing. And in markets that are competitive, right? Not the easiest markets in the country to deal with. And I want to read you one little the vision statement of his company, and I think this is going to help you understand why. So our vision is to create a company where team members have an important part of creating something to be proud of. A company that has a defined and principled center driven by the people who work here. A company where long-term dedication to quality and excellence are valued over short-term rewards. A company built on the foundation of a strong and solid reputation where our team members can provide a future for themselves, their families, and their loved ones. So right now, I'd like to introduce you to Robert Cooper, the owner of 5 Star Roofing and Restoration in beautiful Alabama. Robert, tell us a little bit about yourself and your company.
Thanks, Jim. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you guys. Well, a little bit about us. Birmingham, Alabama, born and raised. Actually, I grew up in the roofing business, so coming back into it wasn't much of a stranger to it. We started this business back in 2015, really part-time. Kind of get into a little bit of back history. Like I said, I grew up in the roofing business. My dad owned Cooper Roofing here in Birmingham from the mid-'70s till he passed away in 2011. And as I worked my way through college in the roofing business, I pursued a career in accounting after we left the roofing business. But it was always with the thought that I'm going to come back. I'm going to go out, I'm going to make my mark, and when it's time to come back, I'm going to get back in the roofing business. That was always what I wanted to do. Dad passed away in 2011, and I was not in a financial position to come back into the roofing business at that point. So I had to wait, and to add a little more drama to the situation, that's when the April 27th, which is actually my birthday, tornadoes hit here. And we had some of the most devastating tornadoes. You probably heard about them.
Yep.
If you look them up there. We made history here. But that tornado, just a few months after Dad died, wiped away our entire business, took the building, took what was left of everything. And anyway, it was not until 2015 that I really got an opportunity to jump back in. So I started part-time in 2015 and really just kind of grew it from there. Started myself and then brought on one person, got a little more successful, started having a little momentum going here in Birmingham, added some more people, got a good foundation going here, opened up in Mobile. That's when we really started taking off. And then from there, we moved to Huntsville, Auburn, Tuscaloosa. So we're pretty much covering the state at this point.
Okay. So, what is, in your market, and with the services that you provide, what is your ideal customer and target market? What do you guys focus on?
That's a great question. And I would say it depends on the segment of business that we're talking about. We are a full service roofing company, meaning that we do commercial roofs, we do insurance restoration work, and we also do 100% finance through the Alabama Power Company here,
Oh, okay.
in Alabama. So it really depends on which market segment that we're talking about, because they're all so different. And I think that's you have to recognize that.
Yeah, for sure. So let's break them down. Let's start with break them down as you see fit. Residential, commercial, is that or even further broken down?
Well, we break residential down into whether it's going to be 100% financed,
Okay.
or whether it's an insurance restoration job.
Okay.
So
Okay.
depending on which track they want to go is handled differently internally. And it is handled different from marketing, sales and marketing purposes.
For sure. Yep. So you have your retail business and you have your insurance storm restoration.
Exactly.
Yep.
And
Okay.
the message is completely different depending on who you're talking to. And then if you want to muddy the water, throw commercial in there as well too.
That's right. That's right. So it sounds like you have more of a, you have a unique selling proposition, but maybe you have a unique selling proposition for that retail client, and maybe you have a unique selling proposition for the storm damage client. How do you position yourselves to each of those different types of markets?
Yeah, for our storm damage restoration customers, we try to handle everything soup to nuts for our customers. We don't, we'll handle the meeting with the adjusters. We'll help assist with the paperwork. I mean, we are really, truly a soup to nut resource for our customers. We handle our business professionally. We don't put any pressure on our people to close, or, like you hear a lot of these horror stories.
Yeah.
Professionalism is something that we value very, very highly here, and treating our customers professionally.
Yeah. No, sign now.
None of that. Yeah, we don't do that. We take a consultative approach to our business. We are a resource to our customers, and that carries us through the insurance side of our business very well.
Okay.
If we're talking about the people who just need finance, a lot of times they've been turned down by their insurance company. They can't afford to pay out of pocket for a roof. So again, we're just there to be a resource to those customers.
Perfect.
And on the commercial side of our business, we gladly take repairs. And I think that is one thing that has really sort of separated us from some of our competitors on the commercial side, is that we will take on the challenges or the opportunity to work on a roof when we know it's not going to get replaced for 10 years.
Yep.
Because
I've found that as something that a lot of the successful companies that I talk to, that's something to point out that is in alignment with each of these companies, is that they're willing to do that. They're willing to take on the repair a little bit earlier on in the process to develop that relationship, especially on the commercial side, develop that relationship to continue that business into the future. So that's
exactly
a great,
right. Because on the commercial side, it is such a long sales cycle.
very long. Yep.
That you may be working on a roof 4, 5, 6 years before you get a chance to bid on a replacement.
That's right.
So you got to be there.
Yep. So what type of marketing do you do for each side of your business? It sounds, you have the retail side, you have the storm restoration. What type of marketing do you do? Do you do, direct mail, SEO? What's your marketing mix?
Well, if we're talking just in general, we have done just about everything you can imagine. We take a all hands on deck approach to sales and marketing. We use canvassers. We've used Home Advisor, Angie's List, printed material, door hangers, every door direct. We use direct sales marketing to insurance agents, real estate agents. You name it, we were doing it, or we've tried it.
So you've come on and you're 3 years into the business now. So you guys have really made a big marketing push, I assume, in that time frame to have tried or are doing a lot of these different efforts.
You know, one of the things that we've done, and I think we've done, a pretty good job. Everybody that works here is in sales. You know,
Okay.
whether it's me, whether it's the accounting department, whether it's the down to the people who print the T-shirts. Everybody's in sales. Everybody knows people, and everybody knows people who need roofs.
Yep.
Everybody's got Facebook. Everybody's got LinkedIn. Everybody can reach people, and we want our employees and people who work with us to be proud of where they work. And again, it goes back to that wanting to be a resource and trying to help. We take on a lot of that.
So that's an interesting concept. It sounds like you don't just rely on the salesperson, right? In your mission or vision statement that I read earlier, you focus on the word team a lot.
Right.
And so that it sounds like you're, hey, everyone in the office is a salesperson. You all know people. Bring that, let's all bring this business together to help, build a future for all of us.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
And that's exactly right. One of the things that I learned, and I thought this was kind of interesting, is that Honda manufacturer who built a huge plant here in right up the road in Lincoln, Alabama. The CEO of the Honda manufacturing plant works in a cubicle just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've heard that. Yeah.
And yes, that is exactly right. So
yeah.
And that's where I learned that teamwork. Everybody's got to be pulling the rope in the same direction, because if you're not, then you're not all going to get where you need to go.
For sure.
It's just that simple. Yeah.
For sure. I love that. So, what are some of the, it sounds like you have done or it sounded like you are currently doing or have done a lot of different things. What things have you cut out of your marketing that you tried and you just didn't feel like were a fit for your company or found success with?
Well, we really haven't cut anything out. We cycle through, and then we'll let it sit for a while. Then we'll pick it back up and cycle back through again. Prime example of that is some of the lead generation companies that are out there. Home Advisor, Angie's List. Those are not the only ones that we've used. We've used probably a dozen.
Yep.
Lead generation services. We'll be heavy on those for a while, and then we'll slack off and do other methods, and then we'll come back. But we're always coming back with a tweak, a change, and what can we do better? What did we not do as well as we thought we did? A big thing for us too is what message do we have to say? What do we say, and what is our customer hearing? Because sometimes what you say is not what they hear. So you have to constantly be going back and tweaking your message.
Definitely. And I think to that point, I think that's what a lot of times, I'm going to kind of bring it back to this, your comment about cycling back through. I don't think that there's contractors out there that I've met that are doing millions of dollars from Home Advisor leads. And then I talk to other people and they don't even want to buy another lead from Home Advisor ever. They'll never do that again. And I think that a lot of times the expectations of what is on the other end of a marketing effort, whether it's buying leads or SEO or even canvassing, sometimes you go out there and you're knocking on doors and you get nothing, right? And sometimes you hit a little streak, right? So you having enough data is what it sounds like you're kind of doing. Hey, that maybe we had a 5% conversion rate on that last time. How can we get it up to 7, 10, and by making some tweaks and seeing if we can adjust that? Does that sound fair? Sound right?
It really does. That is exactly right. But another facet of this too is, and I know roofing contractors who use Home Advisor that do nothing but insurance restoration work. Well, Home Advisor is the wrong place to get those kind of leads, and I'll tell you why. People who use Home Advisor typically will have a check, or they've been turned down, and they're looking for help. They're looking for a guy to come. It's not necessarily, it's going to be a competitive bid situation when you get a Home Advisor lead. And if you do just strictly insurance restoration work, that business is not going to be profitable for you.
Yeah.
But if you position your company so that people who need roofs can get roofs, and they want to buy them from you, then you could do well with Home Advisor.
Nice. Yeah, that I do see a lot of storm damage people that do try to focus on Home Advisor, and they want to be, they're really heavy in the storm damage restoration, and that is an issue with them for sure, because man,
we did really, where we did really well with Home Advisor when we did really well with Home Advisor selling metal roof packages.
Okay.
We did well there. I can't explain it. Don't know why, but for some reason we sold a lot of metal roofs.
For whatever reason, that was the one that worked there, right?
That was the one. Yeah.
Yeah. And so right now, what would you say, what marketing efforts are driving the most leads for your business today? I know you have a good mix of things, but what would you say is your, if you had to, like, this is the one that's the core of our business right now?
Yeah, I would say just boots on the ground, just direct marketing, boots on the ground.
Okay.
That's always going to be a good driver for us.
So in your marketing efforts, do you have any special initiatives or offers that are, to attract these customers on the retail side? I know, insurance side, it's a little different because you get what you get, and but what do you do on the retail side as an offer to people? Is it just 100% financing, or do you offer something on top of that or around that?
Well, we actually solicit referrals.
Okay.
We pay referrals, sometimes up to $200.
Oh, okay.
We pay for a referral. And look, we've got people who have created Facebook marketing funnels for us, and we're paying them for leads as well too.
Yep.
So it's it's different ways to kind of work those referrals.
Let's talk about that referral business a little bit. I think that's something that a lot of people something that a lot of contractors leave on the table. The first thing about referrals is, to get a referral, you have to ask for a referral, right? That's what if you're not asking, then you're not getting, right? So what processes?
You also have to create the situation, Jim, where people want to refer you. So you've got to make people want to refer you. You've got to do a better job than expected cleaning up their yard. You've got to do a better job than expected not leaving. When you tear the top off of a house and put it in somebody's front yard, that's pretty traumatic for some of your customers, because they've never seen anything like that before. All right, so make sure that you've got your ground crew is cleaning that stuff up before it piles up, so it's a little less traumatic on your customers. Just little things like that.
Yeah. So what else have you? So let's do that through the. So it sounds like you're focusing on a lot. You have a lot of processes in place during the build to kind of make sure that the client is not bothered as much by the build. So is that's a good focus? And then when in that process are you asking for the referral, and what are your processes for you had mentioned up to $200 as a kind of referral fee or gift or something like that?
Around Christmas time, around the holidays, we'll go from 100 to 200 on the referrals to kind of coincide with people wanting Christmas money and things like that. And so we up our referral fees. Yeah.
So you do that through like an email campaign or something like that, or
we do some email campaigns, email marketing. We try to stay in touch. We have a newsletter that we try to stay in touch with people throughout the year, things like that.
So you're doing a newsletter, you're doing email campaigns. So you're really keeping in touch with these people post sale.
Right. Exactly. Yep. Exactly. Because we want to give these people the opportunity to refer us, a year down the road, year and a half down the road.
For sure. And that's where, the long-term value of a client, right? That, and that's probably how you've gone, experienced such an increase in growth is it's not about the sale today. And I read this in your vision statement too. It's not about the sale today. It's about the business that you're creating throughout, throughout time. And that will continuously build on itself. And then it turns exponential, as you've seen.
Yes, it will. It will turn exponential. You just have to give it a little time and a little effort, but it'll pay off.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you something else too. Our closing rate on referrals is 2.5 times what it is on cold calls. I mean, it's amazing what a referral will do for you.
It is. That's the easiest sale you can make, right? Because it comes in so warm. They're already, it's very few people that are shopping you even at that point. So
that's right.
That's right. Yeah, much easier sale. You guys doing any social media for your business?
We're doing Facebook. We got nice website. Do some SEO marketing, things like that. We've got some people that have kind of generate lead funnels through their own Facebook, their own personal Facebook accounts. They get us in the neighborhood group chats and things like that. And if somebody's looking for somebody to come, give an inspection or needs a roof or anything like that, then, we solicit those referrals.
Is that through a separate company that's doing that for you, that you said kind of it's there, or is that like through the team members in your
through the team members here in the office? Yeah, actually, I've just got some friends of mine too that I've asked to talk us up on the internet, get us in some of these neighborhood chat boxes, and they're happy to do it.
For sure. Are you neighborhood chats like in Nextdoor and those places?
Yeah, Letgo. Is one.
Oh, Letgo, yep.
Letgo's, we actually advertise on Letgo. Nextdoor is one. There's several like a HOA will have sometimes their own
Facebook groups. Yep, my HOA has a Facebook group. Yep.
Exactly. So if we roof the house in your neighborhood, then chances are that customer we're going to ask that customer, hey, can you get us honorable mention on the HOA Facebook page?
Oh, that's awesome. I like that. I like that. Yeah. And that is, when you see your neighbor posting about something, you definitely, it definitely brings in attention. We have a lot of action in our neighborhood HOA Facebook group. My wife is on the board, and there's definitely people in there asking, hey, do you know a good and stuff like that. So
exactly.
I love that, man. That's a great idea. So, what would you say to the owner of a roofing business that's kind of maybe stuck or trying to get their company to the next level? They're maybe in the grind every day and they just can't figure it out. What would you say to that person?
Well, I mean, I guess it would depend really on where they want to go with their company, what their goals, what their aspirations are. But just general advice is pull back a little bit. Work on your business, not necessarily in your business. I can tell you from experience, my dad was a one truck and one crew commercial roofing guy, and that's what he wanted to do, and it always took care of us. Yeah. But I kept, as I got out in life and I started my career, I would always tell him, hey, Dad, why don't you, why don't you hire you some salespeople, and why don't you, do this and do that, and he just wanted to be where he was comfortable, and that's great. But my advice would be, pull back. If something's not working, pull back, take a look at it. One of my big things around here is more of a team type approach. We have an executive board, if you will. It consists of myself. It's also consists of our operations manager, a recruiting manager, and a sales manager. And we are constantly saying, and we're all different personalities. See, that's the thing, right? But we all really have a focus on growing the business. And it's not just my responsibility to grow the business. If my commercial sales manager wants more commercial business, he needs to be involved in that process, and he loves that. But we've got like an executive team that we tackle problems with. whether it be retention, recruiting personnel, trying to get into a market, opening a new branch, anything, we all take the team approach to it. And it's that executive team responsibility to keep the company moving forward.
Definitely. That's great. And so and that again goes along with your vision of the team, right? And everybody's together. I like that's an interesting insight into this. A lot of times we feel like we have to be the boss, right? Mm-hmm. And hire people to do jobs. Right. Instead of hey, let's be inclusive and letting people's talents shine. That's another thing that I, kind of when you were talking about the executive board, it sounds like you have different talents within that board that are also providing input that may help to shape the direction of where things are going.
That's exactly right. And I want their input, and they want to give their input because, a lot of them, their income depends exactly on that. In this business, it's the compensation is a lot of production-driven compensation.
For sure.
And if people want more production, then they ought to have a say in how that production gets to you. And my sort of overriding philosophy is, we do things that are legal, moral, and ethical. And everybody knows that. And everybody kind of knows where that line is.
Yep.
Everybody knows, how we want to elevate the company and our position in this industry. We are professionals in this industry, and we conduct ourselves like that. And it's important for all of our executive team to have a say in what goes on here. It's very important.
I love that. That's great. That's great advice. And that, that also, that team buy-in, it makes me think of that getting the team buy-in in that manner probably has helped to accelerate. You're in three markets around Alabama now. Is that what you said?
Well, we're in three major markets.
Three major markets.
Yeah. Alabama, and Tuscaloosa and Auburn would be.
Yeah. So you're not missing much, but to get that level of growth and commitment and buy-in, to grow 2,994% over 3 years, you got to have buy-in from the team. And it sounds like you've created a very inclusive environment to do that. So that's awesome.
Again, that's exactly right. It is a team approach. We use a lot of football analogies around here. Of course, we're in Alabama.
Yep.
And, you got to use a football analogy.
That's right.
So we just use a lot of analogies to a football team around here, and people like that. People relate to it, and it's easy to communicate.
Yeah.
When you can sort of everybody relate to the same thing.
Yep. And within those football analogies, sometimes someone's going to miss a block, right? And we're gonna have a setback or something's not going to go right, but we jump up and we run the next play, right? We're not, It
is so funny that you mentioned that, because right before we started this, I had a sort of a new sales guy. He was in here, and he came in and he sold a roof, and we're real happy about that. But he brought in 2 contracts, and I said, "Great job on this contract, wonderful job, so proud of you." And I'm like, "Tell me about this other one." And he said, "Well, they went with another company." I said, "Oh man." I said, "You got the contract signed?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah, Rob, I got the contract signed. I got approved for finance. We're ready. We're ready to put the roof on, right?" And he said, "Somebody came in on a Saturday, scooped them, low ball price. They went with them, and they're putting the roof on today." And I'm like, I really hate that. That's an awful thing to happen. But we got to focus on the next person you're talking to. This is done. There's nothing we can do about it. We'll go and examine what could have been done better.
Yep.
But let's focus on the one we got. Let's focus on getting referrals from this. And we immediately focused on the next play, the next door, the next thing.
Yeah.
It sucks that people will do you like that. It happens, right?
It
Get
happens.
up, dust yourself off, knock the next door, do the next thing right.
Do the
And that's
next
what we
thing.
focus on.
Yeah. And that's a lot of times what you have to focus on as a business owner is moving it forward, making adjustments. Hey, how can we adjust this? How can we adjust that to not let that happen again? Or, it's going to happen. You're going to lose sales. So, you're not going to close 100% of them, but, on the sales side, you're making adjustments to even tweak that conversion rate. 2, 3, 5% could make a, $100,000, $200,000 business, or difference in your business, so that's awesome. So, in having this team aspect that you have, how have you, attracted and maintained and retained these team members and sales people for your business?
By giving them a buy-in into the business, a stake in the business. Their income, a lot of their income is based on production that they create, and I'm giving them the opportunity, the opportunity, if you will, to create something for themselves too. It's really
talk to that a little more. What when you're recruiting say a new salesperson or something like that, what's that conversation? How do you tell them? How do you relay that to them? What you do?
Let me give you an example. About I think 2 years ago, I interviewed a gentleman that had been in the commercial roofing space. He was between jobs. He did have a non-compete on the commercial side. So we checked it out. There wasn't any problem hiring him on the residential side. So we hired him on the residential side, trained him up, and he started selling residential roofs. But he came to me and said, Rob, I'm really not happy selling residential roofs. And at that time, that was all we were doing was residential roofs. He said, my background is in commercial. He said, and I would really like to sell commercial roofs. And I said, well, let's start a commercial roofing department. You can head it up, okay? And we'll just start selling commercial roofs because, frankly, I'd like to sell commercial roofs too, and nobody's really ever talked to me about it.
Yeah.
So we gave him the freedom to, while he's selling residential roofs and after his non-compete runs out, to start soliciting commercial roofs. And we put together a crew. I put some things in place, like service van, things like that. And, slowly but surely he's out and he's growing the commercial side of our business, and he's having a ball doing it.
Yes.
Now, I could have said, we're only a residential roofing company. Sorry. This is what you signed up for. And he'd been gone in 3 months as soon as his non-compete ran out.
That's right.
Right. So, identify those opportunities, and that's what we do. Now he is the manager of the commercial business. He's on our executive team, and he is helping direct some of the growth of this company. And he's got us on some really high-end projects that we get great visibility on.
That's awesome.
We're doing some work right now because of his efforts for a regional bank. All right, and we've got that all over everything, that we're working for this bank, and we're kind of their go-to people right now. So, one of that, we're doing some really high-end projects because of this. And we could have just said, I don't want to fool with commercial. We're residential, but it worked out good for everybody.
Yep. So allowing your team members to be themselves, be their authentic self, right? To have a buy-in, and then being in a position, if they are in a position that they enjoy more, you're going to retain them longer. It sounds like, right. You know what I mean? And they have a lot more buy-in. I love that. That's great.
That's right. And we do use personality testing to get the right people.
Okay.
In the right job.
Which personality testing do you guys use?
We're using Predictive Index.
Predictive Index. Okay.
Predictive
what have you found? Why did you choose Predictive Index over, say, DISC or one of the other platforms?
Well, actually, we looked at several. I like the Predictive Index because I know the person that administers that program here in Alabama.
Oh, okay.
And I have a lot of respect for her and her husband. Her husband is actually one of my old tax clients and is also an Inc. 5000, 3-time.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, and they're having a great success with their company with this. So it was kind of a no-brainer for us when we realized that we needed help in this area. It was a no-brainer for us to just reach out and get it done.
Nice. And what does, so with, a lot of people aren't familiar with, a lot of these personality testings and things like predictive index. And so what are you looking for, say, if you're let's talk about that a little bit, just at what you're looking for in that index that relates to the position that you're hiring for.
Well, here's sort of the method that we go through. Say we're going to hire we want to hire a salesperson. Okay, we'll get our executive team together and a couple of salespeople, and we'll define the job as it looks through the personality, filter through the personality index. So we will create a baseline sort of personality that we're all agree we'll do fine in this job based on successful people that are doing the job. And then as we're bringing people in, we're interviewing people, we're able to match up their personalities to the personality traits that we find are successful in our company.
With other.
Yep. Exactly.
Yep.
It gives us a better match.
That's awesome. That's great. And that's what it seems like these testings for people who aren't really familiar with them. They really, that's kind of the thing, is you match the job description, essentially the job duties, to the personality traits of the potential hire. And you'll find that certain personality traits really do better in certain positions. And that allows you to, some people don't even know that they're good for something or not good for something. They don't even know that they're someone that has that sales, the right traits for a salesperson, but maybe maybe they have the right traits to, be that office operations type of person.
Mm-hmm.
Those are very different types of personalities, and knowing who's a good fit for that. It's a common theme that with some of the podcasts that we've done of companies that are looking at these personality tests and really matching the employees to the right position. So that's great insight. Thanks for coming on today, Rob. Well, I think that maybe we could do another one in the future and maybe talk more in depth about your hiring process and recruiting and attracting these people, and really get into some more details if you're up for it.
Yeah, I'd love to.
All right. Awesome.
Do it again soon.
Well, that's great. This has been another episode of the Roofing Success Podcast. We'll talk to you soon. If you would like to generate more sales through your digital marketing efforts, please visit roofermarketers.com and get a copy of the book, Internet Marketing for Roofing Contractors: How to Triple Your Sales and Turn Your Roofing Website into an Online Lead Generation Machine. Also, check the training section of the website for guides on everything from running effective pay-per-click ads to how to properly set up your Google My Business listing. This has been another episode of the Roofing Success Podcast. Thanks for listening.